Okay, that works.
You are all set.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Environmental Quality Commission special meeting. Today is Thursday, October 21st, and it is 6:32, I think, in the evening. So we'll call us to order. James, would you give us the roll call, please?
I have it, James, if you want me to take care of it.
Thank you,
Go ahead.
Rob.
Sure. Commissioner Boncal,
Here.
Commissioner Serio,
Here.
Commissioner Trombetta,
Here.
Chairperson Foley.
I'm here.
All right.
We can rock and roll. And would you, if you can, please join us in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
To which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
and
and
justice for all. Okay,
It's much easier to match a profile of a known to an unknown than an unknown to.
all right, somebody has something on in the background. Please mute that. Okay. We have from September 9th. Oh, yeah. September 9th was a special meeting, and we have minutes. Anybody have anything to say or add or subtract?
Patty,
Yes, Commissioner Bonko.
I don't have those minutes. I don't know if I was sent the minutes or whatever happened, but anyway, so I'm gonna have to abstain from voting on them.
Well, how about we just put it on to next thing, because it's only the four of us, and we all had to be there for it to be passed. So why don't we just do it next month?
Well, how am I gonna get the minutes? I don't have them.
You'll get them for next month.
From the September meeting?
Well, do them next month.
Yeah, I can email them along with the agenda for next month's meeting. I'll and include this meeting's minutes and then the September 9th meeting minutes in that email.
Okay,
Excellent. Okay, so we'll just bypass this, not done. Thank you. Thank you, Rob. All right. Any changes that anybody sees on the agenda? This is more of a formality. I think everybody's included in what they're working on. No change, moving on. Number 6. Okay, is there anybody in the other room?
Nobody's in the room with us tonight.
Good day. I think they're all watching the Anna Reynolds meeting. Okay. Let's move on. Okay, we are at old business. Hold on, I'm making my notes here. Thank you. Sustainable CP. Renata, do you want to add anything just to update everybody?
Yes, actually,
you.
after our last meeting discussion, we have met independently, town manager, the chair of this commission, myself. I'm trying to remember who else was in that meeting. I
The
believe
mayor and the deputy,
right.
and the deputy mayor.
And I think the in particular, mayor and deputy mayor were approached with a question of whether this is something the town still believed in and wanted to pursue. And they indicated that the answer to that was yes. And they directed me to seek some counsel at the CCM to see whether or not they would help us, which I did. I met with the CCM rep on October 6th and discussed this project. And essentially it is something that CCM does not do for communities. They do not help. That's what our City Sustainable Program is for. I'm sorry, Sonia, shut up. They had indicated though that if we were to collect our numbers and if we were to compile a list of where we are in the process, and if it turned out that we are short a little bit, they could help us run a program, actually run a program to get us to the points that we need. So with that in mind, I directed my staff to start looking into putting together the planning numbers. You know, at some point, Patty, I'm going to ask that you share what you have turned out on your own or received from somebody else. And I think the idea is to continue this in-house until we are ready to actually get helped. So that's where that program lays right now. With regards to the immediate certification in next year, March, I don't think that based on everything that we now know, we're going to be able to meet that deadline. But at the very minimum, we have secured a commitment from mayor and deputy mayor that the council still wanted to continue with this program. So we need to be working on it.
Correct. Because we need specific direction that people will answer and get that information to us so that we can compile. We're asking them to just give us the raw data. We can work on compiling it and getting it ready, but we're not getting the cooperation that we need. So they've got to come up with how they want it done. So fingers crossed.
I do have one more thing, but I want to just wait and see if anybody has questions with regards to what I just talked about.
Anyone? Comment?
It sounds like
Karen?
I was just going to say, sorry. It sounds like a positive direction, and I am glad to hear that. And I hope your staff and you are able to get us started between what we've done, what Patty's done, you know, what you come up with. I think we can maybe get at least 3/4 of the way there. So I start.
We will work on it. I do caution you to just lower expectations with regards to the time frames for obvious reasons. Honestly, like we are slammed. The meetings are running out like rampant, and it's the everything is just poof. The other thing that I wanted to tell you, and I will report about this tomorrow at the TPZ meeting, is I've been working with our grant administrator on securing some grants, and many of those actually could be eligible. Like many of these projects, once they become projects, we're now seeking planning grants, and that's not necessarily going to be as eligible or as point rewarding with regards to the city sustainable process. But I'm working on this keeping city sustainable like framework in mind. But the grants that I'm seeking for will involve a trail extension or the study that ensures an extension of the multi-purpose trail that currently ends at Newington Junction and connecting that trail with Trout Brook Trail in West Hartford.
Say that again, that last part. I'm sorry, I was having a hard time hearing.
Connecting where the multi-purpose city fast track trail ends at Newington Junction on that's Chapman Road on crossing. I am trying to see if we can get a grant that plans a connection between that and the Trout Brook Trail in West Hartford. It's a fairly long distance. I think we could look into, several options. Some will be on-street improvements. Some could run along Piper Brook, which I would love to have that section somehow planned out for. But at any rate, we're working on that. We're working on some historic preservation grants, again, for this same area to create sort of pedestrian historic property loop, where we would seek funding to post signage in front of historic homes that talk about, history of these houses and why they're there. The whole point would be to start at the train station, which is historic as is, have an information, maps, directional signage, then loop along West Hill Road, a little bit of Chapman. There are like several really not very well maintained, unfortunately, but really pretty homes on Chapman Road too. And then down Willard to where Willard cross Stoddard, maybe further. There are a few homes. So I would go maybe to 7-Eleven, something like that. And we could create a little historic destination loop. So that's another grant that could very well be eligible for some points through the city sustainable group. So that's what that's, I guess, the other part of city sustainable thing is the commitment to do those in view of the city sustainable spreadsheets according to the instructions they have, so that these projects do, if we get them, become eligible for points.
Excellent. And there's probably quite a few things that I can remember off the top of my head that would fit in and gain a few points here and there with a project such as this, especially with historic and so forth. There's a whole section of that.
I'd like to add, I'm about ready to jump out of my seat from excitement, Renata. So I am an avid biker, cycler, and very familiar with that section in both sides of the trail, in the middle, the road, the paths. So that's very exciting, and certainly can assist and would assist as any way I could. As far as the historic part as well, that's very exciting. Obviously our town is celebrating, and I think that's very important to share. I think it's important to also remember equity. For example, just last week, I did research on the Underground Railroad and found a house in Newington that was highlighted that I never knew about. Now it's not a destination, but certainly you could drive by. It is a private home, which you probably already know about. But I think it's important with equity to include a variety of viewpoints of the history of our town.
Absolutely, and I do need you, and I will reach out to you.
Anything more for anybody for Renata? Okay, we'll move on. Oops, I can't read that. It's right up there so everybody can see that. Sorry. Oh, I'm in the wrong place here.
Do you want me to read it for everybody, Patty?
Yeah, just hang on a
It's a
second.
section.
I'm just adjusting my screen. I'm sorry. I don't want that. Oh, that's that. Okay, so hold on. I just figured out something I never knew before after all said and done. Yeah. Yes, we've gotten a few more people to follow us, both for the business page and for the group page. So we continue to grow slowly and methodically at this point. And we'll go on to other stuff when we get to new business, so I'll save it for that. Anything on upcycling?
Yes, actually.
Thank you, Joy. Commissioner Bonko, please go ahead.
In the September issue of Newington Life, they had an article. I don't know, I guess you probably can't see it. Anyway, they had an article entitled Upcycling Contest Winners Announced. So they gave all the different winners and divisions, et cetera. So I think that's the last of the articles regarding the past contest that
That's
we'll
fantastic.
see. Excuse me?
That's fantastic.
So I guess that's the last of the articles we'll see until next year.
Okay. Can you snap maybe a couple pictures of that article?
Sure, yeah.
Cool. Only because, you know, sometimes paper gets lost. So if we have a couple snapshots, then we could be able to use that from now until whenever.
Okay, yeah, I'll send photo
Yeah,
over.
just try it. That would be super. Thank you. God, that's good. I'm glad. That was what, September's issue or October?
September issue of Newington Live.
Oh, super. That's fantastic. Because we did the thing in June and now it was September and we end up with an article. That's perfect. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Okay, there's no change in the next one. James? There he is. And no change there, so you can go on. Oh yeah, I'll put it under my new. Okay. Wait a minute, I'm just making a note for myself. I forgot about making a note on that. And I had nothing more because I was a bit under the weather, you might say, for the last month or so. And hopefully things are going to have a turnaround. I'm waiting for some more really positive information on my health, which can make a really big difference. Like I might have to be living for a lot longer and you'll have to put up with me for a lot longer. But anyway, that's all I have.
You know what, Patty, will take you up on it.
Be careful what you will take up on. But yeah, it's been a rocky road for a good month here, but it might be really good news. I'm just waiting for them to get back to me. So I've been kind of a little bit buried in my head and that stuff, which you got to do every so often. So anyway, next item.
Just for a follow-up, Patty, there's the contest announcement in Newington Life.
How'd you get that?
I'm that good.
I'm not going to go there, James. Where is it? Oh, there it is, right in the middle of the page. Can we, oh, wait a minute. Can you just send me, what do you call it? I can't copy that.
I can snip it for you.
The, oh, okay. No, send me the whole page then if you can, or
Okay.
send me the link.
Yep.
Because we don't know how long the link will be up, stay active.
Yeah, they've got it on the archive at least a year back.
Okay, but then that's it. And then I don't know if the library is still, the library takes the Newington Crier and Newington Life. And I think Crier, they have all the way back to the beginning, or at least 30 years worth. And they've gone back and they have them archived. They're not, you can't borrow them out of the library, but you can go there and see them, the paper editions. And FYI, if anybody needs to know that. Okay. Super. Rob, you're our man. Go for it.
The only update I have is I received a report from the MDC regarding our hazardous waste collection that we held at the town garage on May 1st. Just give you a little bit of information as to how many people contributed or how many people visited and some of the things that we highlight what we got rid of. So there were 336 residents from the MDC member towns that visited the site.
Wait a minute, for when they took hazardous waste?
Yep, the MDC hazardous waste collection.
Okay.
Yep, we're traditionally the largest receiving facility or site because we're always the first one. So traditionally, we have anywhere between 300 and 400 cars that do come to it. So this year we had 336 people attend.
How did that compare to the year before?
Last year was kind of an anomaly because of COVID. So we had it later in the year and they had to cancel some. But to answer your question, there was 421 last year.
That's because I know they canceled ours and then you could pick, yeah, there was a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. So, but traditionally we're anywhere between 310 and 360. So we're right in the middle of where we, the normal amount of people that attend.
Okay, that's really good. Could you send me that? Is that like in some kind of form?
Yeah, and it's a report. It has a list of everything that was recycled that day, and
That would be good. 'Cause then we can use that for like news during the year. Remember to save this up for Hazardous Waste Day. Do not put it down the drain or.
Yeah, and it gives a list of some of things that were accepted. And one thing that I didn't think they accepted, which they do, are fire extinguishers. So that's something that I learned too, which was great.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
No, I did not either.
Okay, it's actually really kind of interesting of what they can take and what they don't take. And I guess, I don't know, most fire extinguishers today are, yeah, they still have chemicals in them. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. So,
Okay, well, that's really good.
yeah.
All right, Rob, would you send me the numbers for the year ended for garbage and recycling total numbers for the year ended
Yes.
June?
Yep.
Because now that should be all settled, right?
Yes, I have all those numbers. Yep.
Now, you also have a report that goes to DEEP, or did I get the wrong, that you send that has to be usually done by the end of September or October, which talks about all the recycling in all the areas?
Oh, yes, the annual municipal recycling report. Yes, I just completed
that
that.
one.
Yeah.
Would you send me the signed copy? So I know that's the
Sure.
last one. That would be
Yep.
super because that's got some really good stuff in it that we can use to,
Sure. Yep,
okay.
I sent that in about 3 weeks ago to Deep, so I can do that for you. Sure.
Oh, good. That's good. I knew it's due somewhere about September, October. It's kind of
Yep.
scary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always scary if I remember things. Let's see, garbage and annual, because that's the annual numbers that are, because that includes all the other things that we don't ever really talk about here.
Right, like the wood chips and the scrap metal and propane tanks. Yes. Yep.
Yes, perfect. Excellent. Thank you. I think we'll be interested in learning some more about that.
Okay.
Thank you, Rob.
You're welcome.
Cool. Okay. New business. Well, I got a couple things. This morning, I got a Facebook message from Jeff Zellick. He used to be the chair of the Conservation Commission. And there is a seminar being held on Saturday, November 6th. In the morning, they have a keynote speaker who is from NOAA, the National Space and something, is going to talk. But the first workshop is on waste reduction and recycling. The woman who runs the one in, I think it's Middletown, she will be speaking, and it looks like it's a good workshop. And then subsequent discussions with Jeff is that the Conservation Commission, the name of this association is the Connecticut Association of Conservation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And supposedly our Conservation Commission is a member, and we might be able to attend for free or attend for a lower price. So I have to get in touch with them to find out if they're sending anybody. It's a virtual seminar, so
It's not for free, but let me know if I have money in that budget, I will pay for you guys to go. It's not for free.
okay. Yeah, there's
That's
something.
Catholic training. They are very good for wetland stuff, which is why the Conservation Commission generally goes. But if there is something of interest, you guys are environmental committee, so you should just
Exactly,
let me know and I'll see. If I have money, you go.
Okay, all right. So
Virtual.
I will find out some more and send it to you, Renata. Cool. Then, sometimes it's scary. The Economic Development Commission has assigned to it Newington's beautification. And they showed picture, what their meeting is this coming Wednesday. And it showed pictures of benches around Mill Pond, which are deplorable condition. But anyway, they're going to be discussing something at the meeting. And I came across something, this is a while ago, because we were sitting on maybe trying to get a Boy Scout troop to do it, or maybe we could get the schools, and this could work under a program that would work in sustainable CT, is we collect bottle and can tops, the plastic tops, not all, but many. And then you collect the caps, they have to be clean, and it has to be done by children. Can't be done by adults, otherwise we would have done it already. But you collect them for recycling. They go to a recycling center in Illinois, and then we get free benches that are made from the recycled material. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to find out what economic development is doing about this, but in the meantime, it might be, it's just spun me to realize that I have this connection with them. I had talked with them a couple of years ago, and I just kind of let it sit in the back. But anyway, what they do is all kinds of bottle caps, like the caps on your milk, on a milk jug, or orange juice, or it's amazing. They have a whole big picture list of all the things that are and what aren't. But it might be something that we could put through with the schools and get a, oh, thank you, James. Look at that. I like to know where our park dollars are going, because it wasn't to keep our benches looking very nice. But they're wood slats between concrete and, anyway, that was, I saw that this morning when I was reading their agenda, because I wanted to know if they were doing anything that on this beautification thing that could be really related to sustainable CT stuff, so that if it was organized right with the dot the I and cross the T, it would qualify under something and not just something off to the side. But that's when I found the bench thing. And that's when I remember the bottle cap thing, which then led me to think maybe we could do it through the schools. Whether it be the elementary schools, then you collect all kinds of caps and things, and put a challenge out to the 2 middle schools and the high school. I don't know. I'm just, anyway, it's just something to think about, yes or no?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. And I would encourage the scouting as well, both Boy Scouts and Girl
Yeah,
Scouts.
most of this, from what I remember, and I have to go back and find the original email thread that I had with this woman on it. Because we said, well, heck, we'll do it. We'll being a bunch of adults that were all talking about this several years ago. And she goes, it has to be a youth group. I'm like, okay. And I know we have Boy Scouts, we have Girl Scouts, and we have an entire school of school district with kids in school. So that might be something that could be, but I will find the thing, send it out. You can all read about it. I believe they have a little hold on collecting bottle caps at this moment, but it takes a long time to get that many bottle caps. I mean, you need hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And so we have to come up with a plan, but I'll send you that I know, because I had just pulled that information and found out they had a little bit of a hold, but there's a good opportunity that they would be plastic that's melted down and re-extruded into, what do you call it? Into benches. They don't need painting. They don't really need maintenance. They don't need much. The one thing they have to do is you got to take the bottle caps to Indiana and you got to pick up the, pick up the wrench and bring it back. I think that's how it used to work. I don't know what they do now with COVID and so forth, but anyway, so I thought I'd bring that to you guys and see what you think. And also that,
Counselor Minor is joining us.
oh, hello, Counselor Minor.
Hi, Patty. Sorry, I'm a little late. It's out of one meeting. I had to take care of something first.
Well, hello, well, glad you're here.
Thank you.
Okay, so wait a minute. All right, hold on. No, we're not done. Oh, we know we're right there. Okay. Oh, I just got to go back. Then, let's see. Okay. Also, I had one of these things because I was working on my condominium budget because I live in a condominium and I've been doing the budget and the CIP for our community for like longer than most people would want to know. But one of the things that came up when we were talking about our budget was the values of condos. So I asked our assessor and he sent me a list of every condo in Newington, or their condo and or PUD or whatever. The interesting thing was there was over 3,000 condos on the list. Karen, the list that you had only showed maybe 2,000 condos and change, about 2,600. That was what we were working off the list from sanitation. Rob, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, Rob, are there condominium complexes that don't have, quote, fall under the condominium umbrella? Or PUDs or
There are some developments, yes, that are not, because they're privately owned, either townhouses or
They're
there are
planned-
some.
Okay, they're planned unit developments as opposed to like an association.
Right, like the one that I can think of is where the old drive-in is off the Burlington Turnpike with Harlow and Bogart Drive. Those are over there are all privately owned. We do not service them, and there's quite a few.
That's Deer Run.
No, not that one. That one is right
Well,
across
there's
the street on
Crown
Turnpike from
Ridge.
McDonald's. I can't think of the name of it, but that's all private.
Over near McDonald's.
Across the
Yeah,
street from
Newington-
McDonald's.
The
Newington
drive.
Ridge.
Thank you.
The
Chris.
Newington
Thank you.
Ridge. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, but they're an association, but it's just legally organized differently.
Correct.
Okay, all right, that's what so we need to identify that because when I asked him, i.e. the assessor, and since we might want to do reach outs to these organizations, they have an association or something, we might want to add them to the list. But one of the things that I thought was really important, Karen, if you could re-forward me the spreadsheet you have, because I need to kind of add to the spreadsheet because it's by address and certain addresses, I don't know what association they belong to.
Sure.
I live at Crown Ridge and we're called our main address is Crown Ridge, but we also have units on Kitts Lane. But unless you lived at Crown Ridge, you'd never know that. Unless, kind of thing. So I know, and there are places with names, Deer Run, and all the streets are different names there. So if you could do that, because I'd like to put that in and I'd like to send that out to all of us to take a look at. Because it was not pleasant to see in the reval that many were less and went down in value. So that was an interesting, I thought we could take a look at something like that. And then I came across somebody who is, I haven't addressed her yet, but she's a master gardener. And has spoken on things about environment and so forth. So I was going to address or speak to her when I had a chance and can get in touch with her. And I thought maybe that might be someone who could sit on, come to be on this board. But I hadn't even done a reach out yet. I was just going through some people and reading some bios and so forth. So fingers crossed, there could be somebody out here who actually would like to join. Let's see. And new business, make sure you go out and vote November 2nd, because we're going to be meeting after that day. So make sure you do your duty and go and vote for the candidates of your choice. It's very important. Politics is always local. That's where it really happens, and we need to make sure we take care of our town. Makes a big difference on everything that happens here, and that's where it really starts. And to Mr. Miners, who's here, I wish you good luck on was it November 2nd?
Thank you.
Oh, there he is. Okay. But anyway, anybody have anything else new or exciting or interesting, or read something or attended either like a seminar or a webinar or anything of that nature? Yes, Chris, got your hand up.
Yeah, I know some interesting conversation recently, and I'm not sure if DPW's got any hearing anything differently, but I know there's some grave concerns with Mira, which I believe is slated for closure in 2 years, as to what
No,
we're going to be
this coming
doing.
summer.
Is it, they've moved it up? So yeah,
It was
that's gonna
always
be a big,
June 20, right? Rob, June 22, maybe?
Well, that's the plan. If there's some moving parts to this.
Go ahead.
They want to close the burn facility and turn their facility into a transfer station. Now they're still getting information from the municipalities that are currently contracted with them to see which ones are going to stay with them for the remainder of the 5-year contract. So this is not like something where the light switch is going to go off in a year and we're not going to be able to bring our trash there anymore. We are still contracted with them for 5 years.
When does our contract start?
I don't remember when it started, but it ends in 2027.
Thank you.
So they don't have the funding to maintain it as is. So the burn facility is slated to be decommissioned, if you will, this summer. But they're still not 100% sure if that's going to be the case. They might slowly discontinue the burn portion of it, and it's going to ultimately be turned into a transfer station once the permit with DEP goes through. So we still do have some time to make any decisions as to, not much time. I mean, 5 years seems like a long time, but not when you're talking about trash that's 9,000 tons that are picked up every year. That's something that happens every day of the week almost. So we do have time, but they have assured the towns and municipalities that are still contracted with them that they will be up and running through the duration of the contract.
Now, if by chance, which would be nice, but if that's not, where would our trash be taken to? Just play the worst case scenario. Where would the trash go? Do we have to take it to New Jersey, or?
If it's turned into a transfer station, yes, it's going to be shipped out of state. Yes, whether it be Pennsylvania, New Jersey, South Carolina. Yes, once it's turned into a transfer station, it will no longer be burned and it will be shipped out of state.
So
Yes.
where do we take our garbage, would it go to a transfer station and then be shipped?
Correct, and that would still be Mira for the next 5 years.
Interesting.
So yes, yeah, there are only going to be maybe 3 burn plants left in the state. Covanta and Wallingford, Wheelabrator, I believe, has 2, one in Preston, and I can't think of the other one, but I think once that one is closed, there's only going to be 3 burn plants left, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
and Rob, have they explored the cost at Covanta and the other ones to see if there's any benefit to looking at that, or we just stick with Mira and stick with the outbound transfers for now?
Yeah, well, here's the thing, Chris. Traditionally, Mira sets the market rate. And Covanta and I mean, Wheelabrator is not an option because they're too far. The other option would be Murphy Road Recycling. They are now permitted to take waste as well. And Mira is, traditionally sets the market, but Mira was always guaranteeing the long-term contracts, where Covanta, and I have not reached out to Murphy Road yet, but they are generally short-term contracts. And I personally don't feel comfortable with short-term contracts when we're talking about trash. That's just my opinion, but I have reached out to them, and they will not really entertain anything as far as costs or tip fees go until Mira comes out with their tip fee.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, thanks.
Does everybody understand that? Do you have any questions on that?
Yes,
Chris,
what does MIRA
Go
stand
ahead.
for?
Oh gosh, materials, innovative.
Recycling.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry, it's terrible.
We just changed their acronym into like their first name or something.
Yes, correct. Yes.
It's Materials Innovation and Recycling Authority.
Thank you, James.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, James. I would have never gotten the innovative, because that's the last thing I think of Mira as, an innovator, maybe a long time ago.
Yeah, it's the old CRRA. It was rebranded to Mira once they started accepting recyclables and changing how they were handling the waste.
Okay, perfect. Chris, thanks for the question. That was really quite interesting. Learned something new. Anyone else have a question regarding the Mira or anything else?
Chris still does have his hand up, though.
Chris, you have your hand up, or you just wanting?
No, it's apparently it's just getting lazy and hanging up, so.
Okay. Been there, done that. Okay, that's great.
I had a few things. When
Go ahead. We're still in new business, Karen, so go ahead.
I wanted to find out if anybody knew the success of the shredding event that was at the town.
James should know, because it was done by his department.
Patty, but I sent you all that information. No, we took about 2.5 tons of waste material for paper and recycling out of the stream. Worked out very well. We actually received donations from the public for our Human Services Food Bank as well. So it was overall a good event. We're hoping to do it again in the spring and continue it as a process going forward.
Wonderful. Congratulations. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Congratulations, that's good. Okay, I just wanted to write that down. Human Services was a beneficiary of that also. That's wonderful. Anything else? I forget what's next. Did anybody show up?
Nobody showed up to visit with us.
I'm trying to get people. It's tough. Okay, going on. All right, we've been kind of short tonight, but let's go. Let's just
I
go
have
around.
something.
Yes, Miss Joyce, well, you start then. We got our commissioner comments. Go ahead.
I attended the Golf Quarry Committee meeting this past week. So can you add that for the November agenda?
Yes,
And I'll
yes,
give
I
it-
will.
And
Yes,
I'll
I
give a report. I'll give a report then.
Perfect, Joyce. Thank you. I forgot we have to do that, and that's usually October, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I will make sure it gets on the agenda as soon as we hang up. Put on agenda. Put on agenda for November. Thank you for attending. I'm sure it was riveting, right?
Okay. I made sure it was.
Okay, donkeys. I appreciate that. So thank you, Joyce. Joe, any comments?
The only thing I want to say is I like this idea about collecting the bottle caps and getting new benches. And I think we have to promote that and stay on top of that and try to get the Boy Scouts and the schools involved.
Excellent, Joe. Thank you.
That's a really good idea.
We'll be calling on you to help us out.
Okay.
Commissioner Serio.
I think I've said on my piece throughout the and shared my feedback throughout. I also attended a Virginia Conservation Network meeting. I'll share my notes. It's a very different environment in Virginia, of course, than it is in Newington, Connecticut, with the wetlands, of course, and the water nearby. So I'll send my notes and their website. I thought it was very informative generally.
Excellent, excellent. And thank you for attending and reaching out to find out about what people do other places. Because they may just have the secret that we're missing. Let's see, I think we got, okay, wait a minute. Thank you, everybody. Let's see, did I have anything else next? I don't have anything more. Go ahead, James.
Nothing from me. Just election coming up. Everybody vote.
Everybody vote. It's really important. Renata, anything more from you?
No, I mean, I shared what I had. I
All right.
continuously attend all kinds of webinars and seminars, and I don't even know what to tell you about that. It's the times are changing, they're changing for better, and we need to just as a community get on board.
Yes, and that's actually the key here. It's not just town staff, it's really involving the community, because that's the only way we're really going to get to go forward. We have little things that can get done, but not unless the community buys in and works with us to make the earth a better place. Rob, anything last minute from you?
No, I just I kind of want to echo what Joe said. The bottle cap collection for the benches sounds like a great idea. I just don't know. You would know better once you look into it how many pounds of bottle caps we'd actually need to produce a bench. That might be something really significant.
Well, other people did it, so the whole idea is we got to get the numbers, we got to get some ideas, and by chance, because I don't know what kind of physical space, would there be any space in the garage that we might be able to store boxes of this as we get it collected? I'm just thinking down the road.
I could find a home for them.
All right, we can find a little, I'm sure it's not going to be like a gazillion, but it's it gets
there is always Rob's office.
Yeah.
Well, Rob, you can just work from home and we can use your office for storage. How's that?
I can use it as chairs and footstools.
Okay. Yes.
Patty,
Yes, Miss.
do we know how many pounds it takes to make a bench?
Not, I haven't had a chance. That came up literally about 2 o'clock this afternoon, and I got stuck in 2 other items for work. And so I haven't been able to dig back through, a heck of a lot to find the original information I had. So as soon as I get some of that, I'll send it around so everybody could think about it. And then it will have a much more productive talk. Plus, I have a couple other things that I'm waiting on. It was supposed to be here by noon. It didn't get here, so I'm going to save that for November. Next. That's it, November 11th. Now, please remember that is Veterans Day. As far as I know, we're still going to meet via Zoom because that's the way COVID's still around and we haven't opened up the town hall yet, which works out nice. I think for the most part, as best we can. Anything that you might come across or want to get on the agenda, because I probably will have the agenda done by the end of the week. To send that off to Rob, get it done, because it will be a little crazy in my office for the next couple of weeks. It's always that way. So if there's anything other than, Joyce, I have your note about the bulk quarry. I've got to make a note that that always comes up. And we'll go from there. Cool. And I think I get to entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Yes. Second? Somebody.
I
I'll
second
second.
it.
Who is that? Joe?
Yeah.
Okay. And all in favor? All four of us?
Aye.
Bye.
We are unanimous. I want to thank you very much, everyone, for your participation. Just keep your eyes and ears open. If you see something in the paper, someone talking about the environment or something that's somewhat related, I'll be glad to reach out to them to see, or you could reach out to them to see if they might be interested in joining us here and move this quite along. Again, just from my point of view, if you see something in your news feeds or anything, pop it over onto our Facebook page. We get noticed, not by a lot yet, but if we're not there at all, we'll never be noticed. So if you see something, I put something up there. What was it on? Water and a couple other items that would, hopefully will help individuals. I had a long conversation on what's happening in Newington regarding the MDC water bill. Oh my goodness. Because people don't actually understand their water bill. That's scary. And I've been talking about water a lot lately because of our condo budget. For 75 homes, we spend $42,000 a year. It's a frightening number. It's our most expensive item that we have to pay for. And we're actually, well, I guess I am putting together things that we're putting in our newsletter. And Karen, that might be something we want to do, is send something out along those lines. So as soon as my newsletter's done for Crown Ridge, I'll send you our copy of it, and maybe we could put together something that would have some, and get that out to a bunch of people, because that's how we do it. And we have a group of people who are in the condominiums, and many condominiums only get, like in my case, 75. MDC does not send us, I don't get a bill. We get one bill. So you do the math at $42,000 a year, it's disgustingly expensive. But when you start breaking it down and you start looking at it, it becomes really amazing. But what was more amazing was how little people understood their bill. They didn't understand that they were paying not only for the purchase of water, but for the clean water project, which is approximately the exact same dollar per CCF, which is how they measure the water. There's two items in the bill besides a $14.95 monthly service fee. And so all they see is one number, and there was a whole bunch of hysterics on it. And I tried to get people calmed down, especially when I started showing them, well, this is this and that's that. And it was amazing how the conversation all ended, because now they had nothing to bitch and moan about. Oops. What a wet blanket I can be.
Sounds like you need to teach a class on our water bill.
Well, it's not very difficult, but people were saying that, oh, the water's too expensive. Well, not really. If you separated the two, the Clean Water Project is the one that's separating, because there are 8 towns. It's not the town of Newington. Well, somebody goes, well, they named a couple towns. Well, I went and looked. The town runs the water company. So if you look at the town of Wallingford. They run their own water company. The town of, I think it was Farmington. And not all Farmington has city water, but those who do have city water, it's owned by the town and run by the town. So they have their own reservoirs, their own cleaning, their own everything. Where the MDC, which we're a member town with 7 other towns, so there's 8 towns in total, have this amazing water system. So I don't know. I'm a little bit, yeah.
I know you said you're in a condominium and they have one yearly bill for the water, but aside from the condominiums, I don't get my water from MDC. I get it from New Britain Reservoir. But
Oh,
do you
you're
have any
that,
idea?
you're that far over?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So does do you have any idea what the average water bill per month is for a Newington homeowner?
I had one lady said her average water bill is 50. If we take out the clean water project, because that's like a special assessment, her water bill was, hold on a second, let me just think about it, because I just did this the other day, back and forth with her, was about $40 to $45 a month. But that was not including about $20 more for the clean water assessment, because we're paying off the interest and dividends on the bonds. They borrowed the money to build the tunnel that's being built now, but all the stuff that has been $2.3 billion. We all voted on it back twice, actually. It's been on referendum. It was on our ballots, 2006, and I think it was 2012. And so it's not.
Patty?
Yes, sir.
Seeing as the meeting has ended, there should be a discussion for the next meeting. So you might want to think about that for your agenda,
Okay.
because we are still live.
Okay, we're still live. Oh,
We are
should
still
be.
live.
Okay. Well,
Just you guys
said
continue the
meeting
conversation.
ended, You put the meeting ended, so it should have turned us off.
And then you guys went back to a topic for new business. So
No, we did not. We had to adjourn the meeting.
we adjourned the meeting and then you started
That
the
was it.
discussion on water in between on it.
That was not part of the meeting. Okay. Very good then.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
All right.